And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. Bortles now on first down. Looking and finding Allen Hurns. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Really nice connection on the corner route. This is a play where the receiver wants to set up the defensive back by moving him inside and then breaking back to the corner.
On first and 10, here's Bortles. Middle of the field, it's Robinson. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15, just shy of the 10.
Look, the raw numbers of everything doesn't always tell the tale. Allen Robinson caught 80 passes in 2015, 73 in 2016. But the yardage was a big difference, about 500 yards off.
Yards per catch way down. 1,400 last year in the season that just finished 883. It's interesting how that worked out.
Explosive plays, always the goal of the NFL. Not enough of them for Allen Robinson in 2016.
A first down carry now for Yeldon. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Well, they know how to protect the pass, but sometimes cornerbacks, they can also stop the run, can't they?
Is that what we call a complete corner? Yeah, because we're so used to these guys just being defenders in the pass game. How about the guys who can come up and make the tackles? That's what we just saw there for no gain, too.
Bortles to throw on second down. Sets up the screen to Robinson. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. It's a gain of 5. And they're going to face a third down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive. From the gun on 3rd down, Bortles. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's 4th down.
Everything looked right on that play except the conclusion. He dropped it, an in route, going into a little bit of traffic. Maybe in the back of his mind, he was wondering where the hit was going to come from.
So on 4th down, on comes the Jaguars. Jason Myers now for the field goal try. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And Myers able to knock it through, and the Jaguars grab a 3-0 lead. And we were scoreless up until this point in the second quarter. Now we finally have a little action.
Let's see where this action takes us. First quarter, no points at all. Now we've got our first score of the game. Well, does that signal that we're going to get more as we go along, or will it revert back to what we saw in the beginning of the game?
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
Look at this, a tight end carry. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
It'd be hard to say that a defense wouldn't be ready for a first down run. When you can gain that kind of yardage against a defense that's really kind of geared to stop that play, your confidence has to rise, and now you've actually opened up your playbook. If you want to throw the ball now for play action, you're good to go.
And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone, sometimes you're throwing it between the zones, sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
He had time, was able to survey the field and find a soft spot in that zone coverage.
And that's where it gets difficult for a defender, Brandon. You go to your spots on the field that you have to cover, and when the offense finds an area that you're not in, that's where they throw the football.
So the offense has it 1st and 10. They'll come out in the pistol. On the counter, here's Jones. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
2 minutes remain here in the 1st half. Back with more from Jacksonville. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Now a 2nd down throw for Cousins. This one complete to Jordan Reed. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
And those 1st downs do add up. The offense keeps the ball moving downfield and keeps their defense on the bench, giving them a chance to rest.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group. From the red zone now, Cousins. Right side caught by Jackson. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. So there on that play, offensively, they were in the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let them know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play. Can we go back to the days where if you tapped your wrist as a quarterback, that just meant you're going to spike the ball, not fake spike it and try and get something downfield? They just tried it there, and it wasn't successful, but I know what you're thinking, right?
Dan Marino, Jets, 90s.
Yeah, without a doubt. His Dolphins got over on him. They faked the spike play, thought they were going to stop the clock, end up throwing a nice pass for a touchdown, I believe.
Well, they brought in an extra defensive back here, so probably not expecting a run on 3rd and 3.
Good call.
And able to find Garcon. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And goal. The give is to Jones. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come. And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. They come out here in the eye. They'll try again with Jones. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. And now the Jags going to signal for another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. They've gotten it to the 1. Can they get that final yard here on 3rd and goal? Cousins, and he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Kirk Cousins taking it in. And the Redskins have taken the lead.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, It's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Already looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.